after this terrible start. Aikman, by the way, just ripped him on the broadcast. I don't know if you saw that on Tuesday night. I mean, he was a Cowboy legend, despondent over what's going on with the team.
I fell asleep during the broadcast. I'm sorry, Cowboys.
Their play probably initiated
that.
That's for sure, but Troy was hot. Here we go. The Cowboys are no longer America's team. Fellas, take it or shake it.
Shake it!
Shake it!
They're still self-proclaimed America's team. There's no question about it. They just are not very good. And I think when you look at where it's at, they've got to fix this thing. Jerry's got to move on from Coach McCarthy. I just feel bad for Coach McCarthy and Jerry, them, and Steven really wants it to work, but they've got to wake up at the end and say, I got to move on from this. This is not what we want. They flexed the Cowboys out and put in the Browns and the Giants. They flexed them out of Sunday's game for the Browns and the Giants. When has that ever happened?
Never.
The Cowboys would not be on a Sunday night NBC matchup.
There's no doubt
for the Browns.
Great point.
There's no doubt that they're still America's team because Dak Prescott is America's guy. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm a Giants fan, and I root for Dak Prescott. Do right by Dak Prescott, you will continue to be America's team.
Hate to keep going on this one, but no matter who Dallas is playing, ever since I was a kid, I've always watched them play.
Have to.
That's what it is.
And thanks to Dak, I'm going to get my Oikos yogurt here in the commercial break. Okay, here we go.
Doesn't sound good.
No, Greek yogurt, thick yogurt. Here we go.
Thick yogurt.
USC deserves to be.
Of course
why are we even doing this?
Why are we doing
deserves
this?
to be in the college football playoff. Take it or take it. No, is it take it or shake it?
Take it.
Shake it.
Of course they deserve to be in that conversation. They're the only other undefeated Power 5 team that's still left hanging around. Yeah. I mean, they're the only ones. And I know we struggled against Arizona State, which is a good team led by Herm Edwards and Marvin Lewis on the defensive side of the ball. We struggled against Arizona. We won that game. We took care of Utah in Utah when no one really expected us to win that game. We ran through Washington State. So we're winning our football games. There's no difference than Ohio State and what Ohio State is doing. It's that we got a late start. I get it. I understand it. And people fall asleep on us.
I'm really shocked at this age that you're still cashing those checks from USC.
You always go to the well, but it always works. There's a lot of water in that well. There's a lot of water in that well.
All the Duke anger that he throws my way, and I'm supposed to take it. I give him a little jab, then he gets quiet. I never see Keyshawn get quiet.
I don't want to go there with you when everybody who's listening in their cars and watching us on ESPN2 right now know damn well that Duke pays their basketball players.
What are we talking about on a monthly retainer basis?
Oh boy,
go to the next. Go to the next, please.
It feels like a mini.
Is it going into an S corp or an LLC? Tax liability.
Will you go zoom in?
Right. Jared Goff, not a liability, not a limited liability company.
He's such an Ohio State fan. His parents with Ohio State, but he decided that Duke was paying more. Go ahead.
As you said.
Welcome back to the show, Keyshawn.
All that money. Jared Goff, fellas, tonight, Thursday Night Football, Pats Rams. Jared Goff will lead the Rams to a Super Bowl win. Not a Super Bowl. He's obviously been to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff lead the Rams to a Super Bowl win in the next 5 years.
I take that. Take it all day long. I think Jared Goff has the ability to do it. Again, it just goes back to the turnovers. If you look at his historical number, you look at his numbers, he's on a historical pace. MVP type pace, Super Bowl MVP type pace, Hall of Fame pace. When you put everything together, he just got to cut down the turnovers at the wrong time. That's all. Sean McVay's a good coach. They got great players, man. They really do. They got a good team.
Quick tangent for you, Key. Terry Bradshaw the other day said that he will let go of Jared Goff and he wants Matthew Stafford. Anything to say about that?
I don't respond.
Not a believer in that?
I don't respond to what Terry Bradshaw says.
All right, moving on. Next one.
More
Thanks, Terry.
NFL. Doug Peterson will not be coaching the Eagles at this time next year. Take it or shake it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
He certainly will be the coach. He's a good coach, man. Things didn't work out for Carson Wentz this year or the team for that matter. And I think you look at it, he's just, here's a guy that was just in the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. So you ready to part ways? No. Maybe next year. but you got to run it back unless he just decides I want out. I don't want to be a part of this because I got an opportunity to go somewhere and take on another challenge. But I think Doug does a good job. He knows what to do, and he's going to retool, re-energize himself for next year.
Yeah, the way he's handled the whole Carson Wentz situation, I mean, I've been saying it the whole time. I think Jalen Hurts should have got an opportunity, but at the end of the day, he's going to get that leniency because he did win a Super Bowl, and we'll see what happens next year.
Speaking of the Eagles, okay, it's the word the fellas don't like, but for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to do it back-to-back here. Carson Wentz is a bust. Take it or shake it.
Shake it.
Shake it.
He's not. He's only in his fifth year in the National Football League. How are you going to be a bust in the fifth year? He's got a number of wins. He's played well at times. He just have had a bad streak. He's not a bust. Not a bust at all. No, he's done enough to not be a bust.
You guys know that I'm a pretty respectful guy. To anybody that calls any NFL player or any athlete a bust, stop it.
Well,
Shut up. No. Look, it's not panning out.
Just not right now.
I'll be the bust that makes $100 million. Call me a bust all you want. How many starting quarterbacks are there in the NFL? Okay, he may not pan out, be the great quarterback you thought he was. He's not a bust. He made it to the league. He's part of the 0.05%.
Maybe this benching energizes him and
bust.
If Jalen Hurts for some reason plays like Carson Wentz has the last several games, in these next couple starts, Wentz gets back in and it turns a new leaf. Maybe that happens. Who knows? But he's not a bust.
$100 million bust.
Good point. All right, last one. But this, and I know where Jay's going to go on this because the word bust is going to come up again.
Again.
But this one might test your patience just a little bit because of who we're going to. Mitch Trubisky is a bust. Take it or shake it.
He's shake it.
Shake it.
Again, he's not a bust yet. He will become a bust as he starts to bounce around the league and not become a starter and becomes a serviceable backup. Then he would be a bust deemed on where they drafted him at in the first round, second pick. That's the only way he becomes a bust. Guy just isn't a bust because it hasn't worked out in 3 seasons with the Chicago Bears.
You know how I feel about bust?
4 seasons with the Chicago Bears.
You know how I feel about the word bust. But can we just replace the name Mitch Trubisky with Matt Nagy?
Okay, let's do it. Extra one. Take it or shake it. Matt Nagy is a coaching bust. Take it or shake it.
Take it! There you go. Matt Nagy is a coaching bust. Yes, he is a coaching bust.
I don't want to hear about him being a bust. No, yeah.
Because when I think about it though, man, and this is all honesty. If I crown you as an offensive genius and an offensive mind and an innovator,
Adam Gase,
and you don't do any of that, how can you be? If I say you're a great defensive coordinator and you getting 50 hung on you every week, how could that be? If I tell you, oh my God, you're the next great sports talk host and you're terrible, really terrible, how could that be? Like, how could it be? You're a bust. Now you are really a bust because you haven't shown me anything. Zero, nada, nothing.
So there's a checklist and nothing has been checked off.
Nothing. Zero. You went to the playoffs in your first year like a lot of coaches do in their first year. A lot of coaches win in their first year. Then that team all of a sudden takes on that personality and it becomes something different.
With supplies and solutions.